Every idea starts as a tiny seed. Today, I'm painting the quiet beginnings of growth, patience, and possibility. Planting seeds takes faith. In time, in growth, in yourself. This painting is a reminder that even small beginnings can lead to something blooming and full of life. In this video, I'm going to take you through the entire painting process from ideation to completion. I hope you enjoy. The idea for this illustration / painting came from a moment when I was thinking about faith. And I think I was thinking about faith because I was feeling a lot of doubt and self-doubt. And I was pondering the notion that just because you can't see something happening in front of your eyes doesn't mean that things aren't building, growing, and expanding in your favor behind the scenes, waiting for you to return to life after deconstruction. And I was also listening to an interview with Rosalia recently, and she was talking about self-doubt, and she says self-doubt or doubt is proof we're alive. And if you think about it also, the opposite of faith is certainty. So beginning this painting, this is where my head's at. So there's a couple things that I feel like I want to improve on from my last painting. The main thing probably being colors. I want to make sure I have my colors planned and prepared ahead of time before beginning this painting, because I feel like that was the mistake I made in my last one. I think because it was titled Rosy Retrospective, I figured rosy tones, reds, pinks will do things instinctively, intuitively, just go with the flow, but it actually ended up hindering the flow quite a bit. So I want to fix that error, make sure I have my color composition ready and know where I want to put every single color. I also would like to add more movement. I looked up once what makes a strong visual or a strong art piece, and movement was in that category. And although the motionless, static state of mind is what I was trying to capture in my last piece, in this one I would like to keep movement in mind, like within my brushstrokes and whatnot. And then I also got two new products. I got light molding paste by Golden. It's an opaque lightweight acrylic medium because I'm curious about adding more texture. And then I also got gloss glazing liquid. It's a slow drying extender for acrylic colors. I'm wondering if this could help with more movement, add more fluidity and whatnot. So I want to make sure I'm familiar with those things before getting started as well. So really my biggest takeaway from my last painting was the importance of planning and how that can set the stage for a successful painting or process. So when I get back home from therapy, I'm going to work on the final color composition and get familiar with these new items. I also want to mention that when I talk about faith, I don't mean sitting idle, waiting for something to happen. I mean working into the faith and watering the seeds. It's on us as artists whether or not we choose to nurture the faith and water the seeds and nurture our gifts and trust in divine timing, because divine timing is something that we trust and creating is what we can control. So the title of this painting comes from a song I was listening to a lot in August, and it's actually kind of funny because it's November now, and I feel like I've grown so much since August and it's only been a couple months. But the song is called Flowers by Samantha Ebert, and one of the lyrics in that song is, "I threw it up in a desperate prayer, Lord, why are you keeping me here? And then he said to me, child, I'm planting seeds." So that is where the title of this painting comes from, because that just kind of clicked for me. Okay, so I thought I would just hop in and give a little update. There might be like a progress jump because I got sick, so I didn't really have a whole lot of energy to film. The only thing I had energy for was to sit at my desk and paint. It's currently in the ugly stage, I feel. I find that I get a little bit impatient when it's in the ugly stage. I need to just slow down and work on things one at a time. I actually went ahead and I switched the plant from a plant to a poppy because there's like a lot more symbolism in poppies. The symbolism in the poppy goes a lot better with the concept, I feel. Let me look it up actually. Yeah, so it says poppies symbolize peace and recovery. After the devastation of war, fields of red poppies would often be the first plants to bloom on the battle-scarred land, representing nature's resilience and the hope of renewal. The poppy flower meaning is one of healing and the return of life after deconstruction. And that like perfectly symbolizes the concept of the painting. Anyways, we shall continue. Okay, so I thought I would just take a minute to kind of give a progress update, and we can talk about some things I did, changes I made, because I think there was a little bit of a progress jump since I got sick. Okay, so firstly, love the colors. I'm obsessed with the colors, especially like down here. I feel like this lighting I'm very proud of, and I'm really happy with how that came together. So something that I did to like blend this area with the textured area was I used upwards strokes with the transition colors, which are this purpley magenta and this teal. So I use those two transition colors to try and, I was really unsure at first and it looked very harsh, but I ended up doing that and it ended up being successful, so I'm happy about that. Something I feel insecure about is whether or not this poppy is too big, because it's the same size as the figure and that doesn't feel too realistic, but at the same time the perspectives are different. This perspective goes inwards, whereas this one goes outwards. So I think it works because of that. However, I'm just not entirely confident, and I might need to make it a little bit smaller. And then I do want to bring in oil here just a little bit because it's just a little graphic for my liking with the acrylic, and I just want a softer feel and look. And I still need to blend this area with some more magenta. I also have yet to use this, my darkest shadow color, like up here and in the dirt area. My plan is to use it to like bring everything together because it kind of feels like two separate paintings to me right now. I'm not sure how to do that. I could either do like more drips or like an effect, and I know I want to bring it up here as well. I'm just unsure of that. After I changed the plant to a poppy, I realized the vines or the roots are, I don't know, I was insecure if that was still working or not. I think it still works, and I think it's enough of a interpretation that it works, if that makes sense. And plus I don't think I could really, I mean, I could fix it if I really wanted to, but I don't think it's a big enough deal. I can't remember if I said I carved this out a little bit because it was a little too bulky for me. And I used an X-Acto knife to do that. And then I still have like a lot of refining to do and detail work. I now have to take a break from it because I have a birthday present I need to paint, and that deadline and due date is fastly approaching, and hopefully I will get that done. We will see. I will probably put like a snippet of that in like a little vloggy type video after this, because I've just been collecting clips, so that'll probably turn into a vlog. And yeah, okay, that's my little update for you. Okay, that is going to be it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed watching me make a painting. I love blue. I love all the blues. I think that is going to be my favorite part and thing about this painting. Not gonna lie, I am happy to be done with it. It took quite a bit longer than I expected, and I am just ready to move on to other things, ideas, paintings, and be done with it. I think I'm gonna post this on Thanksgiving, so I'm thankful for you. Thank you so much for watching. I actually have a new tradition now where I get flowers when I complete a painting, and I went to Trader Joe's and I got some peonies, which are my favorite flower. I think my favorite flowers are peonies, roses, and tulips. Anyways, hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!